Hello, everybody. Could you please confirm my voice if I'm audible and you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. You are audible and I can see your screen.
Okay. Thank you, Ash. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SAP Production Planning and Manufacturing Training Session number 1. So, today we will go ahead with one topic that is MRP area. Guys, although this is our first session, today we are not going to discuss a basic about SAP and SAP architecture and SAP different versions and this thing. We will discuss what we actually discussed in our last demo session, where that is the MRP, and I just want to continue the same topic so that you will also get some more brief idea about the MRP and MRP area. And then from tomorrow onwards we will start our SAP production planning basic session and all. Okay, so normally we used to follow the uh, criteria, like whenever we are starting our session, we used to talk about first 5 to 10 minutes about what we discussed in our last session. And also we used to ask if you have any kind of question on our last session. If not, then we used to move ahead with our next topic. So first, today we will just recap our last demo session. In our demo session, we discuss about our course curriculum, and also we discuss who is supposed to join the course and what exactly we are going to do in our course. Like, we are going to divide our course in two factors, two sessions. One is the basic SAP production planning training, and second one is the advanced one. Then we discuss who will be able to join the this training journey and all these stuffs. And then we started discuss about one of the hottest topic in SAP production planning, that is material requirement planning. So we discussed like what is material requirement planning. Basically, material requirement planning is the planning engine which actually ensures the right material at right quantity, at right place, at right time. This is a very high level definition we discussed. And again, we just took one demo company where we set up one production line, one storage location, two storage location, and we set up like there will be one customer, let's say, and one vendor. And for that, we actually try to get to how exactly MRP works in any kind of industry, right? Where we set up one simulation company here, and then we came to know basically material requirement planning is the engine which actually considers the sales orders, plan independent requirement, customer demand. It's nothing but your demand. Then also it checks the current in hand inventory. Also it checks any open order, open reservations for the any material, any open PRPOs are there. So it's nothing but your open receipts. So yes, a MRP engine checks all the things and try to do the calculation. Is called net requirement calculation. Then it checks the lot size calculation, scheduling, and finally explore the BOM. So basically, as per your current inventory and the and the current inventory and the future demands, as well as your current planned receipt, system try to find out the shortages. What are the shortages? And for that shortages, it explore the BOM. And if my material is externally procured, system create the purchase requisition. And if I'm supposed to manufacture this material in-house, then system used to create the plan order. So this is actually the output from MRP. Okay. Also, we discussed like this is the classic MRP what we have with SAP ECC. So what are the disadvantages in that classic MRP? The major disadvantage is the performance. It took a very high time to run. That's the reason we used to run MRP engine in the night time, so that it will ultimately it create a huge load on the database and it slow down the system. So ultimately your day-to-day transactions will get impact if you are running it in a daytime. So that's what we discussed. Like we used to set up the MRP run in the night time, and ultimately that is the why system used to give us some static kind of result, because system used to do the net requirement calculation at night time 12 o'clock. And if you look into your factory or manufacturing company, your demand, your stock is always continuously changing, correct? Your demand changing, your stock is also changing. So this is nothing but it's a dynamic things. But system is doing the calculation at night time at 12 o'clock, and that's why we used to call it MRP is giving me some static results, because it's not a live results. What exactly at 10 o'clock in the morning, the demand situation and your in-house inventory situation could be different, but SAP MRP has already given you the proposals in the night time that could be something different. So that's why we used to call it as a static results. Also, after MRP run, we used to look into the stock requirement list in MD04. It's little cumbersome or it's little complicated to understand. Even in my personal experience, I have seen many PP consultant also not used to, will not be able to read correctly MD04 screen. Then the user, how it is more difficult for any user to read MD04 and analyze the result what SAP has given or what MRP has given. So that kind of constraint also we saw, and that is why SAP came up with SAP MRP Live, that is MD01N in SAP S4 HANA, to minimize this disadvantages. Okay, and then we jumped into the system and we discussed like what kind of the screens available in SAP MRP, that is MD01, MD02, MD03, and what is the difference in MD01N. That's what we at a high level we try to discuss on that screen. So till that point we discussed in our last session, but today what I thought, like we will just move ahead a little bit about the MRP, and we will try to get something more details on the MRP, and then tomorrow onwards we will start our basic PP training. Okay, production planning training basic, that is our first course, with very basics of the SAP and different versions of the SAP and all that things that we will discuss in our tomorrow session. So in today's session, now we will move ahead with the next topic, that is MRP area. But before moving ahead, I just want to know if you have any kind of doubts in our last topic, that is the MRP. You can unmute quickly and you can ask the question. Okay. If not, then we will move ahead. Okay, I hope there are no any questions. You are very clear about the MRP basics of the MRP. Now we will go ahead with the next topic, that is MRP area. Okay, guys, in our last session we discussed, okay, there is one planning engine and we used to run this engine used to do the net requirement calculation and try to find out the procurement proposal. That's what we discussed at a very high level. But where we can run this MRP? What we discussed in our last session, we have one company, and in that company we take an example. Okay, this is my company where I'm having some kind of production line, and for that company or for that production plant we try to run the MRP. Now then, what is MRP area? Why that MRP area is there in a picture, and why SAP has came up with this concept like the MRP area, that we will discuss. Any one of you have any idea about MRP area? What is the MRP area or something? We'll do our session little, uh, you know, if you can unmute and you can tell me about if you have any idea about MRP area.
MRP area would be like the collection of storage locations where we plan the MRP, for which area we plan the MRP.
Okay. Okay. Anyone?
Vikram, I think this is related to material requirement planning for a production system or that line system.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So both of you had gave a very, some partial statement, correct? Okay. Let's discuss about the MRP area. As per me, MRP area is nothing but it's an organizational unit. Okay. Organizational unit for which material requirement planning can be happen. MRP is carried out. Now, what we discuss in one factory, I'm having one production line, some storage location, and the requirement production orders. Okay, so I can do MRP, I can do the material requirement planning in the factory. Okay, so my factory or my that production plan can be one MRP area, right? So is this the way, or is this the only uh, plant where we can do the MRP area? The answer is no, actually. In one factory or in one plant, also we can have a lowest organizational unit, that is storage location. Okay. So basically MRP area is the lowest organizational unit where I can do the material requirement planning. In our yesterday session, we saw we are able to do the material requirement planning in the plant. That is fine. What else? So SAP recommends three kinds of MRP area. One is plant MRP area. Okay. Second is storage location. And the third one is subcontractor MRP area. Okay. Now what we will do, we will take exactly the same example what we discussed yesterday. Okay. So that you will come to know what is the difference in between, because in yesterday's session we did MRP for a plant. That could be one my plant MRP area. Then what is storage location MRP area? And then what is subcontractor MRP area? And why it is actually required? Why SAP recommends? That we will discuss. Guys, let's say this is my factory, and yesterday we took an example, like we do have one production line here. Okay. We do have one storage location here, that is raw material storage location. And also I'm having one more storage location, that is my finished material storage location. Also I'm having one customer here, one vendor here. Okay. I'll first discuss about one case study or one business scenario, so that you will be able to understand the difference between these three kind of MRP area. I'll put here quickly vendor. Okay. Then vendor. Let's say this is my raw material storage location 1, which is actually used to supply the raw material to my first production line. Okay. Production line 1. Okay. And this is my FG location where I used to manufacturing my finished material and keep it here, from where we used to sell it to the customer. Now let's take an example. I'm having exactly same production line, one more production line in the same company or in the same factory. Okay. Just take an example like this. I have two production lines in the same company. Okay. Production line 2, where I'm having one more storage location as 2 raw material storage location. Here I'm saying is my 2 finished material storage location, and this is my customer. First, try to understand the concept. Okay, it's not that much complicated, but once you understand the concept, then you will be able to correlate all the things why SAP is giving this kind of 2 MRP areas and this thing. Okay, vendor is supplying material to my storage location, right? From storage location, we used to issue this material to the production line. Then we are manufacturing the material and keeping it at a finished storage location. And based on the sales order, incoming sales demand, we used to supply this material to the customer. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, I'll put this customer here. The same way, I do have one more production line. This is the case where I used to supply, issue the raw material to the second production line, finish material this, and finally from here I'm selling it to the customer. Now guys, let's take an example. Here in this production line, I'm manufacturing, let's say, juice. Okay, I'm manufacturing finished material. I'll put here. Okay, production line 1. I'm manufacturing, let's say, apple juice. Okay, my company is actually okay. I'll put this thing here. No, here little small. Here I'll put it. Okay. Let's say we are manufacturing apple juice. I'm putting it FG1, okay, where I'm manufacturing this material, FG1. Also, I'm manufacturing one other material, let's say orange juice and apple juice. It's a juice manufacturing company. So my material code is, let's say, FG2, okay. Now, to manufacture this FG1, I need raw materials, correct? Let's say I need raw material 1, that is I am saying R1. Also, I need R2, okay. R2 could be something else. And let's say I need R3. R3 is my material, which is, let's say, sugar, okay. I'm putting here is the R3. So to manufacture FG, let's say apple juice or anything, I do have 3 raw materials. I do require 3 raw materials, okay. R1, R2 and R3, okay. Let me do one thing. Once I set this up, then it will be fine, okay. Now that's fine. This is my bill of material for FG1, okay, which I actually manufacture at my production line 1. Just a minute. Perfect, okay. The same way, I'm having a bill of material for FG2 where I may need some different product, okay. Some different product, let's say X, Y, or let's say R1, R1, I'll put it as a R4, okay. Then R5, so that it will be, and let's say R3. Now, if you try to correlate the things, then you'll be able to understand. Now, if you see here, I'm manufacturing 2 different kind of product. Okay, if you are taking an example, if it's a juice manufacturing company, it's a apple juice, it's a orange juice, let's say. Okay, 2 different product. But this component between this product, I will put with some different color. R3 is the common. Let's say sugar. This is nothing but my sugar. So in both the line or in both the product, sugar is the common product. Okay. Now take an example, the same example with the sugar. Vendor is supplying me sugar. I'm keeping it here. Okay. Which is going to production line 1. And finally, I'm getting a finished material at a FG1, that is juice, which is I'm selling to the customer. The same time, the vendor is supplying sugar to me. I'm keeping it at a raw material storage location 2. Okay. It's R3, nothing but, right? And it is going to the production line 2 where I'm manufacturing, let's say, orange juice, and I'm selling it to the customer. So the raw material is common. If you see sugar is the raw material which is common between both the lines. Okay. Now take an example. Okay. The same example. Customer is saying, I need 10 kg orange juice and 10 kg apple juice. Okay. Just take an example. Customer is asking me 10 kg both. Now we will go here and we'll see whether we have any juice available. No, nothing is available. Now we need to start the MRP, right? Planning run. And system is saying, okay, do one plan order here for 10 kg of apple juice and 10 kg of orange juice here. Also, it checks the raw material stock available. And let's say we don't have, we have some raw material to create a 10 kg orange juice. Let's say we need a 10 kg of sugar, but I do have 5 kg sugar available here. Okay, let's take 5 kg sugar available in the raw material 1, right? And I have 0 kg sugar available at this store. Okay. Now the requirement coming from the customer is saying, I'll take a other pen to explain you. Okay. So the requirement customer 10 kg orange juice, 10 kg apple juice. Okay, is F1 and F2 what we are talking about, and the common material is sugar. Here it's saying, okay, we need to manufacture 10 kg of the 10 liter, actually, not kg. If we are talking about the juice, okay, we need to manufacture 10 liter here and 10 liter here, correct? This is the requirement. Now it ultimately go here and will say, okay, we need to have a raw material of sugar that is 10 kg. Also here I need a raw material of 10 kg. But now what system will do, as per our planning run, system will go and check what is the total requirement. Total requirement is here and here 10, 10. So total requirement is 10 kg sugar here, 10 kg sugar here, right? So total requirement is 20 kg sugar, right? But what is the current stock? Current stock is 5 kg. So system will do the net requirement calculation and will say, okay, go to the vendor and ask vendor to provide 15 kg so that we can move 5 kg here, 10 kg here, right? And then we can start our production and we will finally produce our finished material and we will sell it to the customer. Okay, now let's take the same example, okay, and we'll try to correlate the things. Let's say I'm having a raw material available. I'll just delete the things here first so that I'll put here liter so that it will not get confused. 10 liter, 10 liter. That's fine. Okay. Now take an example, the same example. Now I don't have any stock available here, right? That is the question. But I'm having stock available here with 20 kg. Now what will happen? System will say, okay, the total requirement of sugar is to manufacturing 10 liter orange, 10 kg, to manufacture apple, 10 liter is a 10 kg. So the total requirement for the production line, this is 10 kg and for this is 10 kg. So the total requirement is 20 kg, correct? And then system will do the net requirement calculation. System will check how much stock available in this plant. The stock available is 20 kg, correct? And it will say, okay, no need to go to vendor because we do have stock available of 20 kg here. We can transfer 10 kg here, correct? And then this 10 kg will be used to this line and we will get the finished material. And remaining 10 kg we will transfer to this line. We will get the material here and we can fulfill the requirement of the customer. Correct? This is the scenario. This is how SAP will do the MRP at a plant level, because I am talking about plant MRP area. I'm doing a MRP at a plant level where system is checking the stock of the sugar at all the locations, right? But this is not the ideal scenario. It could be, let's say, there could be the chance like this plant is like in this fashion. I'm having one partition in between these production lines, okay? And I cannot transfer this 10 kg stock here to here and start this line. Or maybe the sugar which I'm maintaining here, I am having that kind of boiler. In that boiler, I have placed that sugar. Okay, I cannot remove that sugar. I can just issue this to the line. I cannot remove and transfer it to here. This is my business scenario. But my MRP run is saying, hey, don't go and purchase the material because we do have material available in this storage location. There is a problem that I cannot transfer this material to the next line and I cannot do my production. In that case, the MRP, whole MRP engine, what proposing the result is giving me something wrong. And that is not my business case. That is not my scenario. This is not going to happen, right? If we are running the MRP at that level. That is why SAP came up with one more functionality or one more plant MRP area, and that is called storage location MRP area. Okay. In that case, if that is the scenario, what we can do it here? We can create the MRP area. Okay, we can create the storage location MRP area rather. Just a minute. We can create this as a separate MRP area and this as a separate MRP area. Then how system will do? System will come here. It will say, okay, I need to manufacturing 10 liter of juice. It will go to this line. It will go and check the stock. Here it will say, okay, we do have 20 kg of sugar. System will say, okay, issue 10 here, do the production. So 10 will remain in your stock. Again, in this line, what system will consider? System will come, okay, 10 liter of juice I need to manufacture. It will come here to the production line will go here and system will check the stock at this level, okay? At this level, system is saying, hey, I do not have a stock. In that case, system will propose one PR to the vendor for 10 kg of sugar. This is nothing but my storage location MRP area. So based on the business understanding and business case, we need to understand whether we have that kind of scenario. Okay, whether basically there are many times in many company there will be the common material between two production line or two different product. Okay, but if this common material we are storing at the same location and we are issuing to the production line, it will not be any impact. But if that is the case, if take an example of, let's say, cement manufacturing industry, okay, or let's say any construction industry, where we used to get the cement, we used to purchase the cement from vendor, and from that cement we used to manufacturing the wall panel or column or something, okay, where we used to store the cement in a big silos. Now when I'm saying I am having a stock of, let's say, 1000 kg of cement, that means I have stored that cement in some big silo. If I'm having two different production line the same way, I'm having one silo here, okay, but we are talking the big silo here, where I have stored the material of, let's say, 1000 kg. I'm having one other silo here where also I have stored some material. But let's take an example. If the material or the, let's say, the cement which is there in this silo has been finished, okay, and you are running MRP at a plant level, but we do have a cement available in this silo. So plant level MRP will always say, okay, we do have a stock available, no need to purchase. But it's not an ideal scenario. Like I will download the cement from this big silo and I'll transfer it to some other store and I'll do my production, or I can start my production. This is not the ideal scenario. In that case, system has to propose the separate purchase order to the vendor to get fulfill or get replenish this silo. For that, we need to have a separate MRP area or separate planning. Instead of doing a planning at plant level, we need to do the planning at a storage location level. This is called my storage location MRP area. Now I'll give you one more example. Okay, I'm having so many storage, RM1, RM2, RM3. Also I'm having scrap material storage location. Okay, when I'm getting a raw material from vendor, I'm keeping here and here. Now I came to know this material is not good, not in a good quality. So what we used to do, we used to transfer this material to the scrap storage location. Now let's take the same example. I do have a 20 kg available here, 0 kg available here. But whatever material was here that has been scrapped, or the sugar what we have purchased from the vendor, that is not a good quality. So what we decide, move this 20 kg of sugar to the scrap location. Now I can see here sugar of 20 kg here, and here zero stock. Now if I am running the MRP at a plant level, system will say, hey, still you have a sugar, because system don't know whether this sugar is good or bad, right? Because I can see sugar, system can see the sugar available at a scrap storage location, and it will say, okay, we do have a sugar stock, use that. But this you cannot use it because this is not good in quality. In that case, we need to tell system, do the net requirement calculation except this location. That means don't consider the stock which is there at a scrap location. Otherwise my planning will get failed, right? If that is the scenario, in that case, we have to have a separate planning area, storage location planning area at a storage location level, so that we can say, okay, this MRP area should not be considered in the planning. This MRP area should be considered in the planning. This MRP area should be considered in the planning. Then system will do the net requirement calculation and it will not consider the stock available at this line. This is called your storage location MRP area. Guys, I'll just stop here for a minute to know if you understand the concept of plant MRP area and storage location MRP area before moving ahead. So basically, we are running MRP at a MRP area level, not at a plant level. If I'm saying I'm running a MRP at a plant level, that means there is a plant MRP area. If I'm saying I'm running a MRP at a storage location level, that means there is a storage location MRP area. Also, there is one more MRP area available, that is the subcontractor, that we will discuss later. But I just want to know if you conceptually you get the details, or you get the concept wise clear about the MRP area, so that I can go ahead and discuss more. Any questions, guys? Okay.
Sir Vikram, I have one question.
Yeah, I'm Pankaj. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, we are keeping that, as you said, RM1 and RM2,
Mhm.
that we are keeping these in rack at production.
Yeah, whatever. It's a storage location, rack,
Yeah.
beans, or whatever you are saying. Okay. Now, see, in the SAP actually, we do have the lowest organizational unit is storage location. Below that, we have a storage bins also, but that is there in the warehouse management module. But SAP don't have MRP area defined at the bin level. So the lowest organizational unit where we can run the MRP is the storage location.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you cannot say like in one storage location I have two rack, and if I'm having a stock available in first rack, system shouldn't not system should do the calculation, net requirement calculation at rack level. That is not possible in SAP. So the lowest level is the storage location, and that's why we do have only 3 MRP area available in SAP, and that is plant, storage location, and subcontractor. We will move ahead and we'll discuss the subcontractor. Okay. I'll say this like this. Okay. So that is actually the storage location MRP area majorly used wherever the common product are used into different lines. Okay. The common material or common component we are storing at a different storage locations. Okay. So when we are doing the MRP calculation, as we discussed, system used to check the in-hand stock, correct? So that time, if I'm having a very big factory, let's say, very big factory is almost in 100 acres. Okay. And the one I'm having so many raw material storage locations available, and I'm having so many different finished product manufacturing. Okay. Now the two lines which we are discussing here are far away from each other. Okay. In that 100 kilometers, and I do have a raw material available at one storage location, but I have a requirement of the same raw material at a different production line. So when I'm running a MRP at a plant level, system will check, okay, raw material is available somewhere in the factory. But this is not an ideal scenario that I'll go there and get this material and start my production. Instead, I want to tell system, boss, go ahead and purchase a new raw material for my production. And also there could be chance the raw material which is available here, that could be planned for next day production, right? So it's not ideal way or right way to go get the stock and start our production. Then these people will, go in the situation with no stock. So if that kind of scenarios or that kind of business complications are there, we used to define the separate MRP area as a storage location MRP area. The very good example is the scrap or rejection storage location. In many company, the material which is lying at a rejection storage location should not be considered in the material requirement planning, correct? So this is the very common requirement in each industry. In that case, what we used to create, we can create that rejection storage location. There could be one name for that rejection storage location, let's say RJ001, okay? We used to create one MRP area saying RJ001. And for that MRP area, we used to say, okay, don't consider in the planning. That way, in that kind of business scenario, we need to have that MRP area. So I'll put this like this, okay, here. The plant MRP area and storage location MRP area. In this fashion, let's say line 1, okay, I'm manufacturing FG1, okay, and at line 2, I'm manufacturing FG2, okay. To manufacture FG2, we need R4, then R5 and R3. these three different product. And to manufacturing FG1, we need R1, R2, and R3. So R3 is the common product in between. Now I'll put one more scenario, the same example what we discussed. Let's say R1 is the material, okay, RM1 is the storage location, okay, where I have a R3 stock of 20 kg, and at RM2 we have a R3 stock of 0 kg. Okay, now let's say there is the requirement of 10 liter of FG1. Okay, FG1 10 liter and FG2 10 liter. This is the requirement from customer. Then system explore the BOM. If I'm running the MRP at a plant level, system will check what is the raw material requirement. To produce FG1 10 liter, we need 10 kg. Requisition will be 10 kg sugar and plus 10 kg sugar for the second line, right? Now what is stock available? Available stock is 20 kg. So system will say, okay, total requirement is 10 kg. Stock is also 10 kg. So no need to procure this material, correct? If we are running the MRP at a plant level. So after MRP run, your purchase requisition will be 0. No purchase requisition will be there. And this is nothing but my plant MRP area. The same time, if I have created the separate MRP area for this location. In that case, there could be the option, the output will be in this fashion. Okay, purchase requisition in first line, it will say no need to purchase anything. But here we have a requirement because here system is doing the separate calculation and the purchase requisition will be for 10 kg separately. That's how system do the calculation in plant MRP area and your storage location MRP area. Any questions, guys, on that? Okay, so if you are okay with this concept, we will move ahead and we will discuss now what is the subcontractor MRP area. Okay, now we know plant MRP area. In plant MRP area, system is doing calculation by considering the stock available at all storage locations. But there could be the business scenario like where the stock will be available in one location, but we cannot move that stock to the next line. In that case, we need to create a separate planning or separate MRP area for the storage location. And this is nothing but your storage location MRP area concept come in. Okay. Yeah, Anil, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Yeah, question is, this is Anil again.
Yeah.
Question is, how do we determine what time we run the plant MRP versus storage location MRP?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, in current system, we used to run the MRP at a night time. Okay. Now the plant MRP or storage location MRP is your business scenario. If take an example, your business is working like this. Okay, we do have two different storage location, and business is giving you the requirement saying, okay, whenever I'm doing the MRP, system should not consider the stock between two locations. Okay, and it should be a separate calculation. In that case, what we used to just create a 2 MRP area and finish. Once you are creating the MRP area and assigning this MRP area to the sugar material that is common in between these, system will automatically consider always whenever you are running the MRP. Okay, if you go here, I'll just show you. When you are running MD01N, here you are not giving what kind of MRP area you are selecting. You are just selecting you are running MRP for plant TJ01. Okay, then what system will do? Okay, in this TJ01, what are the different MRP area you define? Then system will found, okay, there are 2 MRP areas you define, that is RM1 and RM2. Then system will go ahead and check, okay, this RM1 and RM2 MRP area is assigned to which material. Then it will found, okay, this is the material where you have assigned this. So system will automatically do the calculation of this material with respect to this MRP area, and this material will not be will be considered at a plant level. Okay, you no need to tell system, okay, which material has to be planned at a storage location MRP area and at a plant MRP area. System automatically, based on your configuration, system will identify those material and do the calculation, net requirement calculation in that fashion, right? So it's a business review. The answer to your question is, at what point in time you will come to know which kind of planning or which kind of MRP area planning you need to do, right? So you no need to worry about that. You need to just think about the business case. If this is not the case, don't create MRP area. That's it. If this is the case, create MRP area. If no, don't create. You are running the MRP area same fashion. You are not giving any MRP area in the selection in SAP S4 Hana. Okay, system automatically go and checks what kind of calculations you want to do. Then once system you run the MRP, first system check, is there any MRP area you have already created? If yes, system will do that kind of calculation. If not, system will do the normal calculation.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Thank you.
So basically, like let's say now there is one more MRP area that we will discuss ahead. Okay, then you will come to know, okay, if you don't have subcontractor scenario, okay, this is the second MRP area, or it could be like this. Now we'll talk about the same example. Okay, the business could be like in this fashion. Business could be working in this fashion. Let's say. Many companies work like this. Okay. In that case, you no need to create a MRP area for raw material, right? Many companies, used to work like this. We used to get the material from vendor. We used to keep it at a very common storage location, and from where I'm sending the material to the different production line. In that case, is no need to create the MRP area for that level, right? Because I'm having a material available at a main storage location. So for any line, if there is a shortage, I am supposed to supply the material from here. If this is the example, and let's say the stock available is, let's say here, available stock is 10 kg. Okay. We are just talking about the sugar. Okay. Let's say the requirement is for this line 10 kg, for this line 10 kg. It will go here and it will check, okay, total requirement is 20. In hand stock is 10. Do the net requirement calculation, shortage is 10. System will create a purchase requisition and go here for this, right? Or if I'm having a stock available here 20 kg, system will say, okay, requirement is 20, 10 from here, 10 from here. I have already stock, don't go and purchase material. So many companies are working like this. If this is the way company is working or business is working, you no need to create a separate MRP area for storage location. But as we discussed, if the company is working in that fashion, okay, if company is having, company is working in that fashion where they do have a dedicated storage location for both the lines, okay, in that case, you need to have a separate MRP area. Simple. Also, if we do have a separate storage location for two production line, but this production line are very near, and business don't have any restrictions or problems if I'm sending material from here to here and here to here. Okay, in that case also you no need to create a separate MRP area. But these two production lines are very far away from each other. These storage locations are also very far away from each other. And maybe you don't have that kind of facility to transfer the material from here to here. So whenever I'm having a requirement of this line, Although my raw material is available at the store, I am not able to send this material from here to here. If that is the case, only in that case you need to create a separate MRP area for 2 to 3 storage location, right? I'll give one very good example. Let's say I'm manufacturing very heavy industry or heavy raw material I'm manufacturing, where I'm having a raw material of steel, okay, and I'm having a raw material still available at this location. But now requirement is at this line. That means requirement is at this storage location. But I don't have that kind of crane available, which will, take this material from this location and put it here. I don't have that kind of train available to supply the material or transfer the material from here to here. In that case, if I'm working with a plant MRP area and I haven't created any separate MRP area, this storage location, system will not create any purchase requisition. So your planning will get failed, correct? In the planning, system will say, okay, material is available. When you start the production, you will come to know, okay, system is saying material is available, but you cannot do the production because material is available at this location. And I'm not able to supply this material from here to here because I don't have that kind of crane or facility available. In that case, if that is the kind of scenario, we need to tell business, okay, in that case, you need to have a separate MRP area, that is storage location MRP area, you need to create. Once you create, system will do automatically the calculation as what you are exactly expecting. Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead with the same kind of example, one more MRP area, that is subcontractor MRP area. And then we will again have a same kind of question and answer on that, okay? What is subcontractor? First thing, you need to understand how it actually work in SAP, that also you need to understand. Then only you will be understand the subcontracting MRP area. Subcontractor MRP area. This is the same, fundamentally, this is same like a storage location, okay? I'll go to the next screen, and what I'll do, I'll create the same kind of, production line over there so that you will be understand. It's very easy to understand, okay? I'm going to the next screen, I'm putting it here, okay? Let's say I have one vendor supplying the raw materials to me, and I'm manufacturing the finished material and going ahead and selling it to the customer. Now let's say I'll create one more thing here. I have multi-level BOM. Okay, multi-level BOM is, that means I'll put one business scenario here so that you will understand. Okay, I have one production line here where I'm manufacturing first semi-finished material. Okay, then I'm going and I'm manufacturing finished material. So this production line is actually for production line, I'll say here semi-finished material. Okay, and then finally I'm converting this. I do have two different machines actually. I'm taking the raw material from the store, manufacturing first, I'm doing the manufacturing, and the output is my semi-finished material. Then this semi-finished material will go to the next machine where I'll manufacture finished material, and finally my finished material will be stored to this location, and from where it will get sold to the customer. The same way, I'll say it's a SF1 line, FG1 line. Okay, I'll say here it's not a line production. Let's say here SF2. Okay, and okay, so that's it. Here also I'm doing the same kind of thing. Okay, and let's take an example in a car manufacturing company. Okay, where we are just doing the assembly of car. Okay, and we are getting body or tires or something from the subcontractor, which is near to our manufacturing factory, right? So take an example. So here I'm actually manufacturing body. Here I'm actually doing the assembly of car. So finished car will be there and it will go and sell to the customer. Here I'm having a separate production line of, let's say this car is some different version. This line I'm manufacturing with a different kind of version. Now, business has taken a decision, okay, to manufacture this semi-finished material is more critical. And we are, wasting huge cost on that. Instead of that, we will get it manufactured from the subcontractor. Or maybe this line which I was having in my factory is very old production line. Now that line is not giving me the right production. So what I have decided, management has decided to scrap this line and get the semi-finished product manufactured from the subcontractor. Okay, so what they identify one more subcontractor, and they're saying, okay, this line is now scrapped. Okay, this line is scrapped. Now the scenario is like, here is one subcontractor. Subcontractor 1, I'm saying. What we are doing, we are getting the raw material from vendor. Then I'm sending raw material to the subcontractor. And then subcontractor is manufacturing semi-finished material for me. It is coming back to me. And then I am starting my finished material. Then finished material will be done and I can sell it to the customer. Okay. The same way, same thing happened with this line. Business saying, okay, this line is now not good and we are running this line in very loss. It's better to get this material done from the subcontractor. Identify some other subcontractor who will give this product to us and send it to them. Okay. The same way what they did, they identify one more subcontractor here. Okay. Scrap this line. I'll put here subcontractor 2. Okay. These are two different subcontractors. Okay. Where now scenario is like this. I'm getting raw material. I'm sending it to this subcontractor, right? Then subcontractor is manufacturing the semi-finished material. He's sending back to the production line 2. This is production line 2. And finally, I'm getting finished material. I'm selling it to the customer. Now, guys, take an example. The material which is manufactured by subcontractor, that is SFG. Okay. Let's take an example here. I'll give the same kind of example here. We are manufacturing this line. We are manufacturing X finished material. To manufacture this finished material, we have SFG1 BOM, and to manufacture SFG1, we have R1 and R2. This is the raw material. Okay, this is BOM of this line. That this line we are manufacturing Y finished material, Y finished product. This is X. Okay, X we are going here, and here is a Y. To manufacture Y, we need one SFG that we are getting it from subcontractor, right? And to manufacture this, we need a raw material R3 and R1. So guys, R1 is the common material in both the lines. Okay. Now in ideal scenario, what happened when I'm doing the planning with this material planning at a MRP plant level? What happened? System will check the net requirement calculation. It will explore the BOM of SFG and it will say, okay, we need R1 of, let's say R1 here, requirement is 100. We need R1 here, requirement is 100, let's say. Okay. Then system will create a purchase requisition 100, here also 100. Then we are getting 100 stock from the vendor. We are sending this stock through this subcontractor. This line also will send this stock to the subcontractor, and then they are manufacturing the material. Now let's take an example. They have sent this line, I mean this raw material has been sent to the subcontractor. Now here I'm having a 0 stock. Now subcontract stock is 100. Also, I'm having a 0 stock available, as well as subcontractor is also having a 0 stock available. Okay. This subcontractor is having 100 stock. In-house raw material, I don't have stock. Here also I don't have stock. And this subcontractor is also having a 0 stock. Now, if this production line gives the requirement, send 50 semi-finished materials. Then what subcontractor will do? Subcontractor will check, okay, we do have 100 stock available. He will start manufacturing, give it here. The same way, let's say same material, the stock that we are talking about is the common, that is R1. Now this line is giving the requirement to this subcontractor saying, hey, give me 50 SFG. Our MRP run will see, okay, the MRP as of now, if we are running MRP at a plant level, our planning engine will not be able to understand the R1 which is available at subcontractor 2 and R1 which is available is subcontractor 1 is the common material, but our planning engine will not be understand the subcontractor name. Planning engine will say, okay, here I need 50 SFG. So it will check and it will, combine the stock, because here is the subcontractor stock 50 right now available. It will say, okay, we do have a stock available at subcontractor 1. Send the stock here and get it done. But this is not the ideal scenario. That is not possible even. This subcontractor cannot send the material to this subcontractor and start the production. Ideally what happen, system has to consider this subcontractor stock separately and this subcontractor stock separately. But if you are running MRP at a plant level, plant MRP area, system will not be able to do this kind of calculation. And that is why if we are having a different subcontractor for separate product, but the raw material which is going from our factory to the subcontractor is the same, in that case, we need to create the separate subcontractor MRP area. That's it. Once you create the separate subcontractor MRP area, system will say, okay, here requirement is 50, stock is 0, create one purchase requisition and get the material from vendor. If not, system will say, okay, we do have a stock available here, get the material from here and fulfill the requirement, which is actually not possible. So if the business case or business scenario is that fashion, we need to have, or we need to create the separate subcontractor MRP area. Guys, I'm stopping here to know whether you understand the concept of subcontractor MRP area before moving ahead.
Can I ask you a question? This is
Yes.
Venkat here.
Yeah, Venkat, go ahead.
See, like, are you trying to tell me, so like, the planning scope cannot be the determining factor for the MRP run?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to tell me that?
Yes.
Is that what
yes.
my understanding?
Yes. You are correct.
Okay. The planning scope, even in the ECC, we have that functionality where you can allocate the material, define the material, whether what are all the MRP areas that can be assigned to, right?
Correct.
So other than the processing, because of the HANA database processing speed,
Mm-hmm.
what is the advantage that SAP is providing on the MRP Live, other than the speed and being able to run whenever we want? Is there any other additional functionality MRP Live is providing?
Yeah. I think we discussed in our last session also. So the basic thing, the major advantages in MRP Live is the performance. That's very true statement. Apart from
Right.
that,
Mm-hmm.
the MRP results, what we are getting from your classic MRP or in your SAP ECC, that is MD04, MD05 screen, that is very, very complicated. Even the experienced consultant also will not be able to understand what calculation, what kind of proposals are coming out. Okay. So if you are going to the MD04 screen, a big list will be there and you will not be able to, understand the things. Now in SAP S4 HANA, what happened? Because of this good HANA database, SAP also came up with a very beautiful applications. It's called material coverage applications. Okay.
Right.
Where after MRP, you can simply go there and it's giving you very beautiful, that analytical application where you can see what is the shortages, on which date actually the shortages are coming, that kind of things on a single page, you can be able to see it. That is the major.
You are talking in terms of the Fury's ability. That is Fury's ability. That is not the. That is not the.
No, this is SAP S4 HANA ability actually. It's not a Fury. SAP S4 HANA. See, Fury was available in ECC also.
Right.
In SAP R3 also there was a Fury. In SAP ECC also there was a Fury. And then in SAP S4 HANA from 1510 and 1511 and 1610, then 1709, 1909, Fury was there. So because of this on-the-fly calculation available in the SAP S/4HANA database. SAP is
Mm-hmm.
able to create so many things in the Fiori as well as in the MRP Live. Now MRP Live is the separate part. This is all together about SAP S/4HANA, okay? SAP S/4HANA database. So
Right.
SAP S/4HANA database gives us MRP Live functionality and Fiori applications or Fiori ability. In Fiori ability, you are able to get the analytical, outputs and this thing. In
Mm-hmm.
MRP Live, system has improved your performance. First thing.
Okay.
Second thing, in the ECC classic MRP, if I'm having, let's say, 10 different plant, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and let's take an example. I'm having 10 different plant. Let's say plant A, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having plant B. I'm having
Like
plant
that,
C.
and yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now plant A is manufacturing semi-finished material and going to the plant B. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then plant B is manufacturing one semi-finished material. It is going for plant C, and from C it is going to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you are planning MRP with special procurement key, okay, when you are
Mm-hmm.
planning the MRP with special procurement key, you need to create a separate scope of planning, because in our MRP engine, we
Mm-hmm.
do not have option to give the multiple plans. So what you used to do, you used to create a MRP run first here, okay, in the scope of planning. Then
Okay.
you go and create MRP, so that system will throw the dependent requirement here or stock transfer request here. Then
Mm-hmm.
you used to run MRP here, right? Then again you are going back and running third step for MRP. So this kind of scope of planning you need to do in the SAP ECC MRP engine. Now
Got
in
it.
SAP MRP Live MD01N, you no need to do anything. You need to just say, when you are running MRP, A, B, and C should consider. System will do all the calculation, net requirement calculation based on the special procurement key. It will go to the low level code. It will
Okay.
identify which has to come first, which has to come second, which has to come third. Even sometimes, this in the same example, first MRP should happen here, second MRP should happen here, third MRP should happen here. Okay, let's take
Mm-hmm.
an example. There are some material where C is sending to A.
Okay.
In that case, your scope of planning will go under loop, and it will create a complications, and it will not able to do the net requirement calculation correctly. Correct? Because
Perfect, sir.
when I'm saying MRP is running here, that time system is throwing some requirement here that has to be coming first. But now in MD01 and in MRP Live, system will do all the calculation together, find the low level code automatically, and in that low level code, it will check what is the SPK available, and based on that, system used to throw you the requirement proposals. And that is only possible because of your in-memory database. Otherwise, it will take maybe more than 10 hours if you are having some big kind of scope of planning. This is one
Right.
of the major advantage in SAP MRP Live.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Anything, any doubt on the subcon MRP area? Because this concept of subcon MRP area is also the same. Now, the same question what you asked me, what is their advantages in the MRP Live? In ECC also we do have this kind of 3 MRP area available. Okay, I'll just go back and I'll here. In ECC also we do have a plant MRP area, storage location MRP area, and subcon MRP area. These 3 things available. But when we are running the MRP in ECC, we do have 3 different transaction codes. If you do remember, those who are already working, MD01, MD02, MD03. In MD02, we do have that facility to put the MRP area and run it. So if you want to do the planning only for this part, you can easily go to MD02 and put the MRP area and do the planning run. Now in SAP S/4HANA, we have only one transaction available. Okay, I'll go here. We have only one transaction available where you are just defining the number of plant. System will go down, check in which plant, what kind of MRP area you define, in which plant there is a subcon MRP area, in which plant there is a storage location MRP area. System automatically do all the calculation, and based on that, system itself do the calculation and give us the proposal. You no need to give the separate MRP area in the selection. if you go here, I'll just go to the system and I'll try to show you so that you will understand. Just a minute. This is one of the advantage actually. Okay, I'm going to the system. I'll just show you here. We'll discuss in detail what is MD01, what is MD02. See, if you go to MD02, here we do have a facility available where I'm able to give only one material, one MRP area, and one plant. But now in SAP S4 Hana, this transaction code is actually not absolute. This is still available, but in MD01N, you no need to give anything to the system. You just tell what are the different plant you want to run the MRP. You no need to create the scope of planning even. You no need to tell system, okay, I want to do the planning for the specific MRP area. Nothing. You just give the plan, system will do the calculation. System will first check the net requirement calculation in which MRP area for which material there is the requirement, and it will try to do the calculation based on that MRP area net requirement calculation, whether to consider at the whole plant level or whether to consider separate storage location separately and do the and get the result. This is one of the major thing advantages in SAP MRP Live.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. So we discussed plant MRP area. We discussed storage location MRP area. We discussed subcontracting MRP area. So in our incoming session, what we will do, we are not actually, this is only theoretical. I just want to cover because in our demo session we covered we are able to do MRP run, but where you can do MRP run, the answer is at a MRP area level. Now, as I said, already there were MRP area available in SAP ECC, and now in SAP S4HANA also there is a MRP area. SAP S4HANA has changed the planning algorithms and all the calculations, or maybe the logics and coding. Then what is the difference in SAP ECC and SAP S4HANA? In MRP area level, if you are talking about just now we talked about MRP. In MRP, what is the difference? Yes, we understand in MRP, we do have a S4 HANA database, so the speed and performance is very good. Okay. Then also we discuss, okay, now speed and performance is good, so we can run MRP at any point in time. So I'm able to get the dynamic result. Okay. The second thing you asked, like, okay, apart from that, we do have a different Fury applications where we are be able to easily understand the results, right? The third thing is you no need to create the scope of planning and this thing. That's what we discuss about the MRP. Now, what is the advantage? What is the difference in the MRP area concept in ECC and SAP S4 HANA? That we will discuss. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll put here ECC. Okay, ECC. And what I'll do, we can say MRP area ECC versus S4 HANA. Okay, what is the difference in this? This is ECC. I'm putting here SAP S4 HANA. There are some changes, or there are some good things coming up in SAP S4 HANA since. Okay, the first thing is just a minute. The first thing is we just see in ECC we are able to run MRP at a plant level as well as MRP area level, because we do have MD02 transaction code, right, where we will be able to give the MRP area separately, and we will be able to do this kind of planning, right? And in that, if that is the thing that you are able to do, is only because in ECC we need to activate MRP for MRP area. There are separate configuration. Okay, when you are creating plant MRP area, you need to go to MD DO or something transaction where you need to go and activate the MRP area in the customization level. Okay, now in SAP ECC, in SAP S4 HANA, what SAP is saying, MRP will be happen. MRP always at MRP area level, and you no need to do that kind of activation. Okay, this kind of configuration point which was there in SAP your SPRO screen, that is not there now. So you no need to do any configuration. You need to just create a MRP area. That's it. So when we are creating the plant, when we are defining the plant in the system, automatically in SAP S4HANA, plant MRP area will get created. You no need to go and create the MRP area for plant and then activate it. Also, when you understand, okay, there is a business case where you do have a storage location MRP area. You need to create a storage location because business is saying, okay, I don't want to send material from one location to other location, and hence I need a storage location MRP area. Now in SAP S4HANA, you just create the MRP area and leave it. But in ECC, when you are creating the storage location MRP area, you need to go to the configuration and activate it. Okay. Now in ECC, that activation part is removed. Ultimately, what happened? Ultimately, your configuration point or configuration thing has been removed. That is more easy for you. Okay. So I'll put it here like this. We will see in the system in very detail. Okay, when we will actually discuss the MRP area in this part. So activate MRP area configuration was there. Also, we need to create create a planning file entry for MRP area. So that kind of configuration was there. In our yesterday demo session, there was one candidate who asked like he's facing some problem in the MRP and system is saying the planning file entry is not activated or something, although he is working on SAP S4HANA. So in that case, he said like whether we need to go to MD20 transaction and activate the MRP planning file entry. Okay, so actually that was required in SAP ECC, but now in SAP S4HANA it is not actually required. The configuration is not required, no more required. Okay, because MRP area will be automatically created when you your planning file entry will be automatically created when you create the MRP area. So no config required. This is one of the thing. The second thing is about the storage location MRP area. Okay, I'll say this is the, not give any number, it's create one more confusion. Okay. Okay. Now about the storage location MRP area. Okay. If you already worked or gone through the SAP ECC screen, if I'm having storage location MRP area and where I want to exclude the material or exclude the storage location from the MRP. Let's say I'm having one rejection store location, and as we discussed earlier, I want to exclude this storage location from the MRP. Okay, so in ECC we do have two options available. One is create storage location MRP area and exclude it. Second option was there is in the material master itself, there was an additional tab. Okay, it's called exclude storage location tab. Okay, at MRP 4 view. Here also you will be able to, there was an additional tab in the material master. I'll just show you where it is, where you are able to go and click that indicator. And for that indicator, you need to go to the SPRO, where you need to tell, okay, which location you are actually excluding, so that there are two actually options to exclude the storage location from the MRP. Now in SAP S/4HANA, this option is not available, or SAP simply removed this option. Why? Because we do have a storage location MRP area. Always SAP S/4HANA is saying your planning will be happen at a MRP area level. Then when you want to exclude it, you can just go and exclude it. You no need to have a separate tab in the material master. I'll just show you here. Okay, I'll show you some material so that you will understand. I'll just try to get any one material, not this one. Just a minute. Okay. Earlier in SAP ECC, there was one additional tab coming here. Okay. Storage location indicator, where you need to say, okay, I need to exclude the storage location. So if you click that, then in the customization, you need to tell which storage location you are supposed to excluding. Now, what happen if you are having this facility also available here? What happen when you are running MRP system first check the material, then it check, okay, whether we need to exclude it. Yes, again, it is going inside and checking, okay, for that, what is the storage location you are supposed to exclude. So ultimately, there are one additional logics or additional algorithm every time running in the MRP. Okay, if that the thing is there, like let's say, although I'm saying, okay, I don't want to exclude this material from any storage location, but still that part was there, that this thing was there. So in any MRP, first system was checking, okay, this is the material, whether you are excluding, yes or no. If no, then it's going to the next algorithm. If yes, it is going to some other algorithm, right? So that kind of additional programming logic was there inside in SAP ECC. Now in SAP S/4HANA, that part itself is not there. See, location, this part was earlier here, it was coming. I will just check if I'm having SAP ECC access. Just let me check, or maybe I don't know whether, let me check. No, I don't have ECC access, so that I could have shown. But even you can also see if you have any ECC system available. There is one additional tab here to exclude the storage location. Now in SAP S/4HANA, that tab is not there. This is SAP S/4HANA 1909 system. Okay. So that tab is removed. So what happened for the what actually the major advantages in SAP S/4HANA is, if that tab is not there, that extra code, the piece of code is not there. So when we are running the MRP, ultimately the extra algorithm or extra coding logic was there, that has been removed. So it ultimately improved the MRP run performance. Okay. So this option is not available in SAP S/4HANA. And the main one more thing is, I'll put it here, is about Subcon MRP area. Subcon MRP area. Earlier in ECC, also Subcon MRP area is there. But step by step, if you check the ECC MRP area, first we need to create a Subcon MRP area. Okay. Subcon MRP area. Then you need to assign subcontractor to that MRP area. Okay, assign the subcontractor. Okay, subcontractor to the MRP area. And the third step was, just a minute, additional step was, I'll put it here, extend all respective materials to the MRP area. These three steps was there in SAP ECC. Okay. Now let's talk about SAP S/4HANA. In SAP S/4HANA, although these three steps are there, but SAP is saying the last step, what we are talking about, is optional now. you no need to extend the material. Okay, then the question is how system will identify whether this material or this MRP this material has to be considered in the subcontracting MRP area and should consider separately the calculation, right? What we discussed earlier. So what happened when we are creating the subcon MRP area, and we are assigning that subcon MRP area with material and subcontracting info record. So when we are running the MRP, system automatically check, okay, for this material, this subcontractor is available. So you no need to go again and extend all the material. This was a very huge activity actually. If I'm having, let's say 10 subcontractor, and in that 10 subcontractor, if I'm having, let's say 1,000 raw material, which I'm sending, this was the additional activity in SAP ECC that planner or the functional consultant has to go, and every time he need to assign, whenever there is a new material which is coming, he used to assign this raw material or any material to the subcontractor MRP area. Okay, now in SAP S/4HANA this is optional. Although that tab is there, if you are not assigning, then also system will be able to do the calculation. So this is the basic difference at very high level in SAP S/4HANA and SAP ECC in the MRP area part. So when we will move ahead, now this is at very high initial session. When we move ahead and when we start our configuring the company and company code, plant and different production lines and different scenarios, that time we will try to create this kind of separate MRP area, and we will run end-to-end scenario. We will try to understand how system is doing the calculation. Okay guys, then see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.